Can you hear me, G?
Yeah, we good, bro.
All right, good. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. We just come to y'all today with a couple of things we wanted to bring to the table on the turn of events the market has come to, and we named it the turn of the market. So we're gonna speak on it today.
Yes,
Um, got my man G Flex, the producer. He's
what's up?
way out in. Where you at right now, man?
Yeah, I'm in Chicago, man. I'm like dollar bill. I don't pay the country boys nothing. Nothing. You remember that? Oh, Players Club. So yeah, man, I'm in Chicago right now, man, for the job. So I'm taking a little lunch break to make sure that we can bring these people some great information, man, about the market. So
Man, how is it out there? How's the weather and things out there?
man, Tuesday when I got here, man, it was hot, just like
Mhm.
Texas, man. It was 100 degrees. Yesterday and the days around 85 degrees. So it's
Wow.
not too bad.
Oh,
Beautiful
cool,
city out here,
man.
man. I love Chicago, man.
Man, nice, man. I got to get out there with you, man. We got to get some things going up, man. But I'm
Yeah,
glad you can tune in, man, and give the people these gems we're about to give them, man, on the
that's what's up.
market, the turn of the market, man.
Yeah,
Um, so I'm gonna just dive right into it, man. Everybody been I run these reports every week on the market and what's going on, and um I've been seeing more and more homes sit on the market here lately, and I've been seeing a lot of price decreases. And it's several factors that go into that. What people don't realize is, sellers have gotten into this notion of um, they kind of just think that they still supposed to make this money, but it's just like anything else. What goes up must come down. At some point, and it just seems like we're getting back close to a normal real estate market, which is what it is, right? Um, People just have to prepare for it.
and it varies. You know, we talked about earlier, not just state by state, but you can get into even not just the city. You can get in
Right.
certain parts of the city, and it's performing different.
Oh,
And we're going to talk about some of those things like it's driving the prices. You know, we talked about inventory. You know,
right.
and, how bad people want to move to certain parts of the city. Specifically, we talked about Frisco. Frisco is a busy area. It's booming. It's thriving. There's a lot to do out here. So, can you
Hmm.
talk about what's making people want to Frisco, say, versus another part of Dallas, DeSoto?
Well, I think there's when you talk about demographics and stuff like that, Jay, I think there's a big difference, right?
Yeah,
Um, you have to look at when you go in certain areas, and we understand that you got to have you look at things like what is there to do? Is there shopping? Is there a place to go? Or there eateries? How close are you within the proximity of getting to those places? And how fast can you get to them? The events that goes on, the affordability range, that's a real big one. Um,
yeah.
so, there's a lot of factors that go into this. Man, I just want to take just a second, man, to say we got our girl IC on. So I want to say, what's up, IC?
What it do? I see. Yeah.
But yeah, man, I gotta give her a shot, man. I gotta give her a shout out. But yeah, man, those things I think even the schools play a big factor. I mean,
Mhm.
when you have people moving to the states from out of state, that's the first thing they want to know is how the school ratings are, how is the area, if there's a lot of crime or stuff like that, or
Yeah.
do they have access to get the things, and
Yeah.
so those type of things right there play a big factor in people moving
So,
to the
and that's
areas.
main, especially that affordability piece, man. We talked
Big
about
time.
what's driving Frisco.
Oh,
You can go with buy a home in Frisco and go down south and see the same builder with the same home, and there can literally be two, three, $400,000 difference in price points. And the reason is because what's driving the prices and the desire to move out north. In Frisco is the PGA golf headquarters. You got the Cowboys practice facility. Everybody's a Cowboy fan, right?
most definitely.
Yeah, but there's just a lot going on in the area. So can you talk about what you've seen and
Well,
with the growth in Frisco?
well, I can give you a real live example. So I purchased over here because I like to watch areas, right? And I've been watching this PGA thing go up for a while. So I said that's gonna be my next move just for investment purposes. So I purchased a home over there by the PGA, and the same exact home. You take down south and go like the Waxahachie. I called my brother and I was like, "Hey man, you need to go buy a home." He was like, "Wow, what's up?" I was like, "Well, the reason being, these same homes that they building up here are like 800-900,000. Down there where you at, they 480, 470. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They right up under 500. Same exact house now. So when you talking about is the materials and stuff like that going up, how so when you building the same exact floor
Yeah.
plan, 40 or so miles from here, that's you're selling for 400,000 less.
Yeah.
So the areas has it plays a big part in this.
You call it
And
we were talking earlier before the show, you call it a premium. So
man,
there's a
straight
premium to
premium,
live in
bro.
certain areas, right?
Straight premium. You
Yeah.
paying you paying to stay in certain areas. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like there's just certain amenities a area have that they're gonna put a premium on you just to live there.
That area. Right, right. And
Yes.
not to mention just the HOA is gonna be a lot different
Oh
too. So
man.
that ain't just a mortgage payment, monthly. So but that's
Oh yeah.
good, man. Good information when people are moving to Dallas. I tell them all the time, like, not to get in your business, but what are you going to be making? Because that's a big part of it. Can I afford to live in town? And then even the commute, like people, if they know where they're going to be working, you got to determine, like if you want to gas price, and it wasn't a big issue before, but gas prices are up. So that's another big consideration is the commute. You talked
It is
about the
definitely.
schools too, all right? But other considerations other than those two things.
I mean, I think those are the major ones. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That people should really be looking at. Because now that what we're seeing now, why prices are starting to adjust because and they're saying they're doing this for they're trying to curtail inflation and stuff like that. But as you can see that as interest rate goes up and prices are still up, I mean, you're taking away people's buying power.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know they're trying to fix this inflation thing, but to me, if they was gonna do something, they should have did it a couple of years ago. But I'm not in that position. I can't say, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now it's not helping nothing, and then it's taking
The
away.
average person. So the
Yes,
people that are wealthy, that got money,
they don't care.
they're good. But for the average person, the working class,
Yeah,
it,
it's not.
it takes away their buying power. And
Yeah,
because you said this is a difference in a few $100s a month. And
right, right. And I'm not gonna say they don't. They just that's not a concern to them, because when you have money, it's not you're not really affected by it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's what I mean by it doesn't affect them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because they got they can buy some property or houses or something like that, and it's really not going to affect that. They're looking at it from an investment
Yeah.
standpoint. How is it
So
going to invest them? How
yeah.
is it going to help them for as an investment?
So real life, what we're seeing happen is the inventory is increasing,
Yep,
and but the demand is slowly going down.
slowly
And
going
that's what
down,
they
bro.
wanted to do with the increased interest rate. So
Well,
now that the average buyer can't buy it, so that kind of takes away from
that's that slows it
inflation.
down.
Yeah, slows inflation.
Yep, and that's supposed to help us with this inventory problem that we're having, right? So we're in a shortage of homes, and as it slows down and people stop buying, um, you know, make some of the inventory of homes will come back. That's from existing and new construction.
So and some of that, especially with the new construction, you're starting to see now sellers, new builder sellers are offering more concessions. At one
Yes.
point, they were offering. I remember we had this discussion, and they were offering nothing. Versus now, I know a friend that just purchased a home, and they gave him about 8,000 in upgrades free. So it's things
Oh
like that
man.
that are, I think, making a difference. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, they are because hell, they was even taking away part of the realtor's commission. I mean,
Really?
bro, it had got stiff for him out here. You know what I'm saying? Like builders was like,
Like,
hey,
why pay y'all? We don't need
yeah,
you.
we don't really need y'all because people are just buying these. And like I said, I tell people, I'm like, look, it's no charge to you. Get you somebody that understands this space that you're moving in because they can help you. Just make sure, they're gonna work for you and work in your best interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because it's not a charge. The builder already got that wrapped into the price. You know what I'm saying? That they're gonna pay the realtor,
yeah,
right? But
yeah.
when you have buyers just running up, just buying stuff and not caring. And then once they do that, they get into a bind with the builder where they didn't have the right representation and they tried to go in there and get this on their own. And now they're going through issues because I'm gonna tell you something, man. A lot of when this happened and a lot of people was buying with this buying frenzy, what happened is quality and customer service went out the window
Yeah,
with a lot of builders. I
yeah,
mean, that part just went straight out the window.
yeah,
Like, you know, and it's a shame, but that's where we was at in the market.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy. So one of the things before we move to, I know you got some charts you want to share, but I was
Hmm.
thinking about how people are trying to decide want to buy. There's options still, so it's not only what the interest rate is. So there are some different loan products out there that you talked about. One of them is the interest only loan, where
Hmm.
you that allows you just to pay interest on a loan initially, which keeps your monthly payments low. And then
Right.
idea though is to refinance later because the interest rate only terms they're going to expire and you're going to be paying who knows what. So, but the other one you talk about an adjustable rate or
Hmm.
ARM is what it's called. Can you talk about that product?
Oh yes, because so I just did a arm, and I'll be honest with you, I've been totally against arms, because it just make it. I mean, when I think of an arm, I think of me giving out my arm away. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's how I kind of put it in layman terms. It's just, but it depends on. You says what word you used earlier about when I told you about a loan. You said it's the what was it, the situation or something?
Yeah, the situation you're in, like what determines if you want to wait or if I want to buy now. And if you want to buy now, maybe an adjustable rate mortgage.
Right. So that
Yeah,
is the determining factor. Might
yeah.
it just depends on your situation, like you said. So I just got in a 5-5 arm on some land that we bought. And that means what a 5-5 arm means is that I got at that rate that I have, it can never go below that, below that above that rate. And I would always keep that rate for 5 years.
Hmm.
And it can adjust after that five, but in between that time, it can never go above that rate. But if
So
it
what
go
the entry rate is
the
it?
interest rate, yep.
What about the entry or the starting rate? What is it? How low is it generally when you first take the loan out?
Well, it just depends on that's credit scores. That's those factors that determine what your interest rate gonna be. But whatever that rate is, 5%, 6%. If you do a 5-5 arm, that means that rate won't adjust until 5 years. But
Okay.
the thing is, if the rate drops and it drops below what you got that rate is, you can go into whoever servicing your loan like a year later and say, hey, the rates are if you had a 5 or 6%, you can go back in and say, hey, can we do a recap on my loan? Because the rates are now at like 4 or 3%. I need
Yeah.
this to drop.
I
And
guess
they'll
my
go,
concern is so if I got a 30-year mortgage, I'm not concerned with rate increasing. So only reason I would want to do an arm is if the initial rate is lower than what the average market rate is, I guess if you want to use that word. So
right.
if Freddie and Fannie said in the market saying that the interest rate is 3%,
Hmm.
but I'm going to do a 30-year mortgage, I don't an adjustable rate wouldn't be something that I want to do. So why would I want to do an adjustable rate unless it starts off lower than what Freddie and Fannie is saying?
Well, it might when you're doing adjustable, it is supposed to help you with that rate, and it is supposed to be lower technically.
So it'd be lower.
So
Okay, that's what I
yeah,
was going.
so I mean, if you go into it, if it's like you said, if it's higher than what you already getting, why do it?
Right.
Because if I get a fixed rate, we know it's never going to change.
Never going
But
to
when
change.
you get an adjustable, in those terms, it's going to change at some point.
But generally, it's going to be maybe a point or two lower, and then
Yes,
it adjusts in 5 years. But that
right.
adjust is capped on how much that it can. So that
Yes,
loan is good for people that coming out of college or they're expecting to improve their financial situation later, where they can get a refinance or their income is increasing.
right,
So, but
right.
right now they got the lower payment, but they know like, hey, this makes it where I can afford this house. But something to think about, and this is what's happening out in Frisco, especially. Man, the property values are going up, and a lot of people. I like, and I say this intentionally. A lot of people are getting taxed out of their homes. If
Mm.
if you're the price, I bought my home just say for 250, and now it's worth $600,000. That's a big increase in payment due to no fault of my own. But now my payment is higher. Is there something that I can do that from happening?
I mean, man, the only thing they got that exemption is a homestead exemption. And I
Yeah,
mean, you can protest every year, which I recommend always. I mean, but that's work. A lot of people don't do that because it's work. You know what I'm saying? You do have to provide documentation and you got to fight with the city. But I can tell you this: what the city of Frisco, I just read this a couple of days. Um, the city council approved um, the homestead exemption increase. So you're supposed to get more off your homestead.
yeah,
And then they're doing a property tax freeze for
yes.
the elderly and
Whatever.
disabled
We've
residents.
seen, yeah, yeah,
So that's a good thing that happened in the city of Frisco.
yeah. And that's the thing, man. The cities, our leaders can do more, but it
Mhm.
takes them to think outside the box and doing
Most definitely.
something other than what's conventional, man. So again, man, I hate it because the average homeowner is not educated in the do's and don'ts, the wills and wants. So you're totally dependent, not totally dependent. You're big time dependent on your real estate agent,
Yeah.
your loan officer. Hopefully the appraiser comes in and give you a real true value. But the other piece is again, we need to educate ourselves as much as possible. And part of
Mhm.
that is linking up with smart people like yourself here on the NM podcast, right?
Man, I say I like to think so, man.
Yeah.
I like to lead people the right way, and because like we always talk about, man, we didn't come up in spaces like this. We didn't know about this stuff. So just to educate people and let them know what they get into and how to keep your property values up and stuff like that, and keep them from decreasing and things of that nature, man. It's just a blessing to be able to do so.
Yeah. So again, we talked about in the beginning. If I'm deciding to move to Dallas, one of the things we
Hmm.
talked about is affordability. So you have a chart that shows us the different price points in between. We chose Dallas, Frisco, Little M, and DeSoto, right?
And DeSoto, yeah. So let
Yeah.
me let me pull that up for you right quick, and we're gonna
Okay.
go over these
Yeah.
charts.
So while he's
And we,
pulling it up, if y'all out there listening and you're thinking about moving to Dallas, this is going to be some good information for you. How do you know which part of the city should you live in? You know, and buying a home. And here we go. So what are we looking at right here?
so this first chart here is just the median sales price, which is like the average sales price in the areas. As you can see, this legend here shows the blue represents Dallas, the light red or maroon, whatever, represents Frisco. The light green represents DeSoto, and the dark represents Little M. As you can see over here on this side, this gives you. So we're looking at data in arrears, like so. This is for May, right? So we'll get June once the June is over, but this is May. And this is going back a year. I can adjust this table to go back to 10 years if I
Mhm.
wanted to, 1, 3, 5, 10 years, but I'm only doing 1 year because I want you to see the difference just in a 1 year time frame, what the market has done and what is produced. So when you look at this overall, look at the percentage and the numbers. For Frisco, the average is 900,000, increased 36%. That's crazy, man.
And even though you're just saying Frisco, and it's not going to be as much to some of the bordering cities, but if you look down at Little Elm,
Yeah.
it's high.
Yep.
Um, Also, what's the name? Prosperous. So it seems like it's little expensive, but man, I'm looking at DeSoto. Man, DeSoto is what, 40? Is that what that
That's
is?
49%, bro.
Wow, man.
The average over there is 608. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's give or take because you got to realize all this data is straight out the MLS. So it's
Mhm.
not looking at stuff that's off market, so, for sale by own. It's looking at only data that's coming from the MLS. Only realtors have access to this.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Wow.
this is exclusive just to realtors.
Yeah.
And then if you look at like we can go through different tabs. This is what the
Hey,
original
can you
list.
go back real quick? I want to see that. Something that I think is worth important. Even though DeSoto increased to 40%, which is higher than Frisco and Little Elm, look at that price. What is that?
Yeah.
606, 608.
608 608 955.
Yeah. So even though it increased, it's still more affordable in
Yes.
that part of the it is Frisco or Little Elm.
Oh, that's I mean, even if we go back, so let's look at some. Let me show you this though. This is where I want people to see. So this is days on market. This was the average days on market. And if we look, the average days on market in Frisco was 6 days. Little M was 5. DeSoto was 19. Dallas was 11
When we saying days on market, that's how long it takes a
before they got a
property
contract.
to go on the market, become available to sell to it went
Yep.
under contract.
So
Okay.
day you put on the market, today you receive the contract.
And why is that
Bam.
important? Because people want to sell fast.
Yeah, because people want to. I mean, sellers are in the mind that my house shouldn't be on them. Looking at this data, they're saying my house shouldn't be on the market no more than 7 days.
So as a buyer and myself, that's important to me because I'm saying like, hey, if I'm putting an offer in, like I got to come in with a good offer in the beginning. I don't have a lot of time to waste because people out there buying these
You got
homes.
competition,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay.
Competition. So that's what people got to realize, though. But this is when we started out, and all this trended from last year. Look at the numbers back in November. December, January, February, March, April. Look how low they were in April.
So
I
what's the
mean,
one up there with the bill, the big high,
right
the
here,
spike? Which one is that?
that's DeSoto.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
means houses was on the market longer in those areas. You know
Got
what
you.
I'm saying? And this is just data that's coming straight out the MLS. I
Yeah.
mean, and right now, like I said, this is back May, so everything has shifted now. So when I
Yeah.
run these next month, these lines and these graphs are gonna be a lot different from what you're
Yeah.
seeing now because
Yeah.
now homes homes are sitting on the market at least almost a month now. I've seen it. I've seen price decreases all over the board. I'm talking about anywhere from 20 to 50,000.
Yeah.
Because technically people have to realize we are not in a normal market. That's
Yeah.
that's the realization that sellers have to come to. We're not in a normal market. So everything that you was making up to this point has been like it's not you can't even really graph this stuff
Yeah.
because there's really no metrics for stuff this. I mean, when you go from an average on equity is supposed to be from 3 to 5% a year, all the way up to 20 to 75% a year, that's crazy, man. How can you put a metric on something like that that's been happening over the past 2 years?
Yeah. So again, it's important to educate yourself and link up with people that understand what's going on. That's going to tell you the raw and the real. Like you can hear all this stuff, but my thing is, what does that mean to me?
Right.
And how the information to determine what I want to do next. So one of the other things I want us to talk about, man, and I'll drop this off here, is we talked about should we buy? We talked about that last week. And you
Mhm.
said that people's situation is different. We talked about if you do, maybe an adjustable rate is an option or interest. But if not, maybe people should rent. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's whatever your situation dictates. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Mhm.
tell people, I got clients right now, and they're at that top end, and they're like, man, I'm like, look, if you can do it, do it. If you can't, don't worry about it. I say because I mean that it just might not be your time right now.
Yeah.
If
Because
you,
we're talking about a difference in a few $100s a month.
oh man,
Yeah.
that's a big difference. If you're
Yeah.
talking about that point, could mean you paying anywhere upward from 200 to 500 or upward dollars on your mortgage every month. So it
Yeah.
might not be time for you to buy.
Yeah.
You
But the
know?
thing is, these loan officers, they're going to get creative. They still
Oh
need
yeah.
to make a sale. So know the terms. You said that earlier. Know the terms of that loan. What does that mean long term, not just short term? Because again, if I'm in it and I do an interest only or an adjustable rate, I might be good for 2 years. But what does that mean in 2 years? Like, what is my rate going to do? And they
Right.
need to educate themselves on that, right?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think that you should ask all the questions when you're dealing with your loan. You need to know everything about it, right? You need to know the terms of it. I mean, you even need to know if there's a prepayment penalty on it if
Yeah.
you wish to pay off. You know what I'm saying? When can I? it can I even when can I refi? You know what I'm saying? Some people have stipulations on that. You can be in a loan 6 months. Some people you can do it, the day after. Some you can do it a year after. You need to know that. What does that look like for you? So I
Yeah,
think when you get into these loans, you need to ask as many questions as possible.
yeah.
And then that also, when you have your realtor should, help you and educate you on that too.
Hey, here's the thing. So I'm not gonna call. I got a good friend. She just texted me. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna call you out, but she said she still has her homestead. So when we're talking about
Wow.
being affordable, it's certain things that you can do. This is not the shame. It's just funny. We like, man,
Yeah.
she's gonna take care of it. But there are things you can do that make the home more affordable. Again, not just the type of loan product, but having a good credit score. So you can get a better interest rate.
Right.
Filing your homestead exemptions. If you're a senior citizen, make sure you do that senior
Yes.
exemption. People that are in the military, you and I, you can get that disability exemption. So um, here's a question right here. Do the same rules apply to a VA loan?
Far as what rules?
Some of the considerations when you're going in. So what a VA can do is ensure that you get a better interest rate,
So
um, happy financing.
it's really across the board for that to get the best of the best loans. And this is why I always for my clients, because I'm pretty well versed in credit. I make sure we sit down and I comb through all their finances and I make sure they're doing everything. They got their DTI down and everything because you do want to get the best of the best loans. VA just has it to where you don't have to come into it with no money down.
Yeah,
So and you can put money down if you want to. That's just that perk. That's that incentive for being a veteran, right? You
yeah.
can get that VA loan and you don't have to come to the table with nothing but your closing costs. And sometimes not all the times, but sometimes your lender could work with you on giving you lender credits where they'll come in and they will help you out to where you damn near don't have to come with nothing to the table when you come with your VA loan.
So she's
You know,
talking about specifically about interest rates. So I
same.
know when I purchased my home, they did lower my interest rate. I think maybe 2/10 of a point. It wasn't a whole lot. Well, it was over the life of a loan it's gonna cost, but make a difference. I
Yeah,
do remember my lender telling me that because it was a VA loan that I would get a better interest rate.
yeah, but you had good credit, bro.
I had good credit too, yeah.
That I'm telling you, that I don't care. Ask any lender out there. You can't come into that VA loan with no bad credit and get a good
Yeah,
interest rate.
not bad credit. But say I'm just if someone says that a 680, they qualify for a VA versus someone with a 700 with no, can that VA get you a better interest rate?
Yeah, it can, but then again,
But you
too, you
got to
gotta
have good though from the jump.
right. You it then because of the average is 640, I believe it.
Mhm.
It adjusts 640, 620. But like I try to get my clients well over that so they can get the best of the best, the creme de la creme. You know what I'm saying? Like I want your loan to be the best of the best loans where you're gonna get the best rates. And so that's why we go through that
Yeah,
and I make sure we raise them scores.
yeah,
So when they go to the lender, they good to go.
yeah. One more question before we get out of here, man.
Sure.
Any people or different lenders should you try and get a product from so you can compare
I
two,
mean,
three, four?
I say at least two. You know what I'm saying? Like you just want to see, you want to compare the terms and just make sure you're getting a good rate. You know what I'm saying? But I say this too: if you got a good lender that takes care of you, there's no need to compare. Because like I got lenders right now, I know I can go to right now, and I know that ain't no need of me looking nowhere else because I already know that they're gonna take care of me. I
Yeah,
know the terms, I know the rates, what I'm supposed to get with my type of credit. So long as they do me right, I ain't what I got to look for something else for.
that's a good segue into. I need to update your email address, but we'll put this one up here for now. You
Okay.
know people, so if somebody needs to reach out to you to find a dependable, honest lender, they can reach out to you, right?
Man, I got a several of them that I work with, man. That's vetted, and I mean they work just like I work. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm able to send people to them because I know that they're gonna get. It's like a mirror of me. You know what I'm saying? So if you need to get to a lender, if you want to know what that looks like, and like I said before, I send you to that lender, I look at your credit from that perspective because I want to make sure before I send you to that lender, your file is already good to go. So guess what? When that lender gets that file, they ain't got to go through that, and scrutinize everything here and tell you this because you already taken care of. Because I done already made sure of that.
And your lenders, they do more than Texas, right? They work across the country.
Yes. Yep. I got some of them in several states, but in some of them is not in all states.
Yeah,
So it just all depends on what state you're going to.
yeah. So
But
I
if
was
not, I can
talking.
find you one.
Yeah, my good friend Shalonda Goodwater, military buddy, man. She's the one that asked about the VA. So
Oh, okay.
reach out. She's in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. So I'm
Oh
sure you
yeah.
got somebody that can help out in that area, right?
Yes, sir. Tell Shalonda you reach out to me, or I'll get your info from G, and we'll get you. I'll make sure you're taken care of.
Yeah. So, man, a good takeaway before we get out of here.
Hey man, a good takeaway is from all this is know your business. What I mean by know your business, know your credit, know your finances, because all these things make a difference. I tell you what else. Man, I could go deep in this credit thing, but I'll be on her too long. So I'm gonna just give you a real quick one. You know how they say when you go apply for a loan, they're gonna ask for your last two bank statements. This is a big one too. This is why I tell my clients too about um, making sure you use credit cards, because when they look at your bank statements, they ain't gonna see all that miscellaneous charges on there because you got to show them statements. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you're using credit card, they ain't looking at credit card statement. They ain't looking at bank statements. So
Man,
remember
little
that.
tips like that, man, makes a world of difference, man.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's good. That's
We here
good.
to help, man. That's what we do this for, man.
Educate and motivate, man. Not
There
only
you
we
go.
educating you, we're motivating you to learn and grow and understand. Like we understand what it is not to know. So we're
Yep.
doing what we can to make sure that people in the know connecting with the right people. And my boy T Will, man, the white man in real estate, he connected. So reach
I
out to him.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna put your information up there one more time for
Okay.
people that want to reach out to you. And,
Yep.
again, that's whether you got just general questions. If you need a realtor, if you need a lender, if you need work on your credit, man, reach out to this brother, man. He's get definitely be able to get you squared away in whatever you're needing.
Yeah, anything. If you got questions like about credit, about lenders, about the process, because a lot of people don't even know where to start, right? And so if you have any of those questions, man, don't hesitate to reach out, man. I'm available. Just man, hit me up.
And it's free information, right? You ain't charging nobody to give
Free.
up
Nah,
good
man,
info.
that just hit me up. This is, hey, man, I'm gonna tell you something. We didn't grow up in this space, and we didn't know nothing about this. I was just talking to one of my partners last night on the phone about this, and that I grew up with. Um, and I was telling him, man, he was like, man, you should probably try. I like, look, man, we didn't know nothing about this, man. And I was like, all the people that I can educate and tell about this space here, that's what I'm gonna do, because people need to know, because a lot of people don't know and they
Yeah,
missing out.
yeah. That's good, man. Well, Superman, I really appreciate you making yourself available, man. We'll do this again next Thursday, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, appreciate you all the way from Chi Town, bro.
Shot
Like
time.
you got on. I mean, you don't have to do this, man. And for you to, man, that just, man, y'all don't even know this bro right here, man. Is just, man, this dude is impeccable, bro.
Hey, man. I texted this evening. Man,
Hey,
it was
man,
fun out here in Shot Town. But we got
have
to
a
come
safe
back,
flight,
man.
Black. Yeah, man, I do, man. We got to do a trip, man, out
I
there,
got some
man.
connections for you here, too, man. It's a good network of people for you, man. So,
I'm
yeah.
ready to go. Oh, also too, man. I do investments too. I'm not no big time investor, nothing like that, but I do invest in property. So, if you have something that you feel like somebody else, or you don't know what to do with it, or you want to ask questions about it, or if you want to sell it, you got a property or something like that, you want to sell it, man, reach out to me, man. We can go over the numbers, see if they work, and if it does, let's do business,
Superman in real estate. Appreciate you making time, brother. How
man.
about we go ahead and drop that outro and we get out of here?
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody for tuning in.
Peace. See y'all next time.